Welcome to another session of In The Limelight. We've got Aarati today from Maxima Profit. Welcome to In The Limelight, Aarati. Thank you. How are you?
Hello, Harpreet. Thank you for having me here. I'm good. Fantastic. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. The objective of the session today, Aarti, is obviously for people who are listening or watching this segment. We are hoping to add some value in their business life, and hopefully they can learn and pick up a few things from your experience, because you are in such a good position when it comes to business insights, because you help so many business owners.
That's true. I'm very happy to add my 1 cent and whatever help it may have for your viewers. My
That's great.
pleasure.
Okay, we'll get straight to it. So, tell us about your business. What made you start this business, and specifically this business?
Well, I have been working in business analysis all my life, now 20 plus years.
Hmm.
And I was working, handling business for South Asia Pacific in a multinational company, traveling around the Asia Pacific countries on a larger scale. Business analysis is my passion, but there came a phase in my life where I wanted to find my purpose.
Hmm.
And my purpose in life is to do one good deed, one good karma every single day.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about doing my own business, the only thought that came in my life was business consulting. There was nothing else that interested me well enough. I have been in it all my life, and I still love doing it. It's my passion. But being a business coach added that purpose. It gave a beautiful marriage of my purpose and my passion to what I'm doing.
Hmm.
Every single session that I conduct every single day with my clients add value not only to their life, but it also touches the life of their employees, their family members, and so on.
Yeah, that's amazing. And again, it would be very satisfying seeing your clients grow. I can imagine that. I'm in the same sort of boat. And you said you were working in a few multinationals before that. So what were you doing before you started out?
Well, I was working into business analysis, management reporting, working with stakeholders of the company, doing
Hmm.
pricing, commercial analysis,
Hmm.
all those sort of things. So anything related to sales, business decision making. In
Oh,
fact, everything related to sales, business decision making.
great, great. And again, that knowledge which you bring in by working with all those companies, all those years you spent in the market, I'm sure you'd be adding tremendous value for your clients there. Um, Obviously, so you're earning really well, and you started your own business. Obviously, that's a really hard transition. Were there any fears before you were starting out, and what were they, and how did you handle them?
There were, I guess, the biggest difference was it's different to work with a corporate and it's different to work with business owners,
Hmm.
private business owners, because um, when it comes to private business owners, it is very much touching their lives. There's a lot of emotions involved to it.
Hmm.
And being from not being born and brought up here, I did had to go through a lot of learning, a lot of effort to make sure that my prospects or my market understands me, my market understands who am I. uh, I had to work on connecting with my market here, certainly.
Okay. Okay. And in terms of fears, how did you handle those fears of like not knowing where the consistent money is going to come from? How did you handle those fears?
I say, and we say, the definition of fear is future or false expectations appearing real.
Okay. Interesting.
And I say this to my clients as well. When we say false expectations, which are not there,
Okay.
which are not in there today, and we think that's real. So the best way to deal with fear is to be in present
Okay.
and to see what we can do about it. And that's exactly what I do.
That's great.
Uh, I always say, people, I'm blessed. I'm absolutely blessed. And it just works out.
That's great, and it has worked out. And tell us about your plans for 2021. Look, you've been pretty successful in the last few years. What are your plans for 2021, and what steps are you taking to grow your business even further?
This year, I have got a goal,
Hmm.
and my goal is to have $26,000 has in charity.
Okay.
That's what I'm working towards. That's my plan for the year. And anything and everything to achieve that goal. That's where I want to head. Well, I am trying to work with. I mean, not trying, but I am actually looking for few team members to
Hmm.
work with me,
Hmm.
so I can expand and enhance my business.
Hmm.
That's where I'm going this year.
Tell us about some common myths, because all business owners and business types will have some common myths. Tell us a few common myths about your profession or the field that you want to debunk.
See, first of all, people don't understand, rather than saying, they feel all business coaches are same.
Hmm.
But it's not that. The coaching industry is absolutely huge,
Hmm.
and different coaches do different things.
Hmm.
Not all coaches do the same thing. Like, there are life coaches which are meant for your personal traumas, or any personal events, struggling events that you have been going through in your life.
Hmm.
They are specialized mindset coaches. They are only NLP coaches. They are pure lead generation coaches. They are pure employee, or employee management coaches.
Hmm. Hmm.
They all are different,
Hmm.
but people think they all are same.
Hmm.
And it's important to understand what exactly do you need in your business, and move ahead and then find out the right coach, rather than just having a right coach and then realize, well, it's not for you. There is a difference between business consultant and business coach as well.
Hmm.
You got to understand whether you want a consultant, whether you want a coach. What I do is, when we call ourselves business accelerators.
Hmm.
Business accelerators is a mixture of being a business consultant, a coach, a manager, a friend, a philosopher, and a mentor.
Hmm.
But we believe in teaching you how to fish rather than fishing for you.
Hmm.
Teaching you how to fish is like learning a skill.
Hmm.
You're not dependent on someone.
Hmm.
But say, for example, you just want to execute a project in your company,
Hmm.
and you want someone else to execute a project in your company. That's a different ball game. Then that's a business consultant who will
Hmm.
come in, take over, and do the job for you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there's a difference there.
So basically, what you're saying is, as business owners, first thing they need to understand is what the problem areas they want to address, and then ask the right questions to the coach if they kind of skilled in that area before you commit to anything.
Yeah, and I will tell you, it is very difficult 99% of the time for the
Hmm.
business owner to himself understand what are the problems in the business.
Hmm.
Because I say, people, your body, it's like your body is sick, your body throws out symptoms.
Hmm.
You may have fever, but if there's something in your business, it's just a symptom. It's quite difficult to understand what's underneath it, what is the real area that needs to be worked on, or that needs to be focused on.
Hmm.
So what I generally do is I conduct a business assessment session with my prospects.
Hmm.
So it's like doing a health check of your business and
Hmm.
understanding all the areas that require to be looked at.
Ah, that's great. Okay, that's very thorough. Okay, and in terms of the next thing I want to ask you is, tell us something little known and interesting fact about your industry.
Well, I will tell you that this industry is so huge,
Hmm.
not because there are many or little coaches, but I feel that there shouldn't be any single business owner who doesn't have a business coach.
Okay.
uh, Business is a place of isolation, and even if you're family working in a business, you can't go to your husband and wife, or you cannot discuss. So there are two ways. If your family is not in the business, it just doesn't make sense you going to your husband and wife every single day and discussing what to do in the business.
Hmm.
It is important the way you have got colleagues in your workplace. If
Hmm.
you're working in a job, there's someone to hold your hand, to be there with you. Unlike business becomes absolutely a place of isolation. And I use this term very often. You never know when business gets in your bedroom,
Hmm.
especially when you're a couple or a family working in your business. I've seen so many business owners, you will not even understand your work is in your bedroom. You will not understand what is actually impacting your relationship. Is it the relationship or is it the work? And that is why I feel that there shouldn't be any business owner who shouldn't have a business code. In fact, there should be every business owner, including me, who
Hmm.
should have a business coach.
Great. And again, look, that's great advice, because sometimes someone from outside, looking into the business, can add a lot more value and can pick up a lot more things compared to someone who's working in the business. Yeah, great advice. And tell us one more thing. How are you different to other business coaches? What difference do you bring to the table?
First uniqueness that I have gotten compared to anyone else in Melbourne
Hmm.
is our programs are a combination of online courses and one-on-one coaching.
Hmm.
And the benefit of doing that is online courses teaches you things, keeps you in there. One
Hmm.
on one coaching, you do the session and then it's more like you're off what you have learned until you come to the next session.
Hmm.
But with online coaching, you're learning, your brain is learning, your brain is working and thinking about things,
Hmm.
which is absolutely, it adds value and has proven to enhance your results
Hmm.
in what you're doing. The second most important thing is, I kind of mend the personal, I kind of align your personal goals with your business goals. That's a specialty.
Hmm.
Via balanced planning, I make sure that your personal goals and your business goals both align with each other.
Hmm.
Third, and the biggest thing is, I'm a coach who looks at 360-degree perspective of your business. And I feel that, working on only one area doesn't work well, because then even if you enhance that area, there is a cascading effect of that area on some other area.
Hmm.
So, say for example, you work with the lead generation, you work with someone to increase your leads. Okay, fine, you increase your sales, but then there comes other struggles, as in how are you managing
Hmm.
those sales? How are you doing your client fulfillment? How are you actually engaging there? And there are a lot of areas. I feel business works hand in hand in all areas. You cannot separate one area from the business. And another important thing is, you cannot separate the business owner as well.
Hmm.
So I say people that anyone who gets on board with me would be a better version of themselves. It doesn't only impact the business but also impacts the person.
That's great. That's great. So basically, a personal touch, managing an overall approach. That's great. Again, you mentioned there are a lot of business coaches out there, which means it's a very competitive market. So how do you see your competition? Do you learn from them, ignore them, or smart them?
No, I don't feel I have got any competition, because considering my uniqueness, and considering what we offer, we have around 700 plus tools that you can use for your business.
Hmm.
Considering what we offer, I don't feel there is any direct competition I have on hand. And even if there is, I feel that everyone should have a business coach. And what I do, or what we do, is not for everyone. If it works well, if we are a good fit for each other, it's a different. But if not, what we do is not for everyone. So if it's not with me, then it's good that there is someone else, for that business owner, to
Mm.
hold their hand, to help them. That's how I always have been looking at people and looking at other coaches as well.
Great. One thing I want to ask you is, who's your ideal kind of client? Who should reach out to you?
Well, my ideal client is a business owner with three or more employees.
Hmm.
I specialize. I deal with all sorts of businesses,
Hmm.
startups to bigger businesses, but I personally specialize in medium to large businesses as well. So, a business owner with a specific turnover, with 3 to 4 employees, a private business owner, and biggest thing is they need to have a desire to change, a desire to grow,
Hmm.
a desire to achieve something, and a pain point and a willingness to learn.
Of
If
course.
that's the person, then that's my ideal client.
Yeah, sometimes the hardest thing would be to convincing a business owner to change their ways because they've been doing it for years.
Yes.
I can feel that. Okay, I want to ask you a few personal questions as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a journey. Our life, business is just a part of it. We succeed in a lot of things. We fail in a few things. I want to understand, how do you cope with failure? How do you handle it?
See, when it comes to failure, it teaches me one thing. I love this quote. There is nothing known as failure. There is either success or there is learning.
Hmm.
And for me, every step is learning.
Hmm.
I always say, I feel I'm blessed. I feel that there is something somewhere supreme in this universe who has hold my hand throughout my steps.
Hmm.
And that gives me the strength to just get up and put that one step up.
Great, and that's a great quote as well. I agree with you. There's nothing. You either learn or you succeed. So that's amazing. Compliments. What's the best compliment you've ever received? And tell us one achievement you're most proud of.
One of the best compliments that I loved is people say, I get in the person's soul and I read them.
Nice.
So when someone is sitting in front of me, they're like, Aarti, it feels like you're just getting inside me and reading me. And I love it when people say that. But when I say I've been proud of, and maybe this for the first time I'm saying on air,
Hmm.
but my journey of life uh, has been anything and everything you can imagine has a struggle. I have faced it.
Hmm.
Anything and everything, absolutely, you can imagine could be a struggle for a human being, and I have faced it.
Wow.
Uh, there was a time where I was dying. There was a time where I had nothing, to a time that I'm here in front of you, with coaching multi-million dollar business owners here.
Hmm.
Uh, and I guess that journey and overcoming all those things, I'm absolutely proud of. Um,
That is
and
quite an
I,
achievement.
it is, it is. It would be, I had only said it once in one of my presentations, and the reality, the things that I have faced.
Hmm.
Um, and Yes, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I'm telling you, if I can do it, considering whatever I have faced in my life, anyone can do it.
Nice. And so basically, what you're saying is, when someone hires you to coach them on their business, they're hiring someone with a never say die attitude. You've seen so much. Okay, and for business owners who are watching this or listening to this interview, what are the few key learnings you'd like to share, and which will kind of help them start their journey or maybe improve just a little bit in the current business? What are the few key things you could share with people?
So, see, I would divide them in three categories. So, first category is for someone who is starting their business. And I always say people, as I said, that you're starting your business. There are many things that you don't know. It's like you don't know what you don't know until you know what you don't know.
Yes.
And I love this. This applies to people who are starting their business. This applies. to everyone. So what you don't know, you don't know. So it is important, the earlier you seek help, the lesser mistakes you make. Business is a journey of making mistakes, learning and moving on, correcting, adjusting, changing, succeeding and moving on. That's the journey of business.
Hmm.
So the earlier you seek your hand, the earlier you try and learn, because I say business is a skill. Harpreet, it's interesting, many people get in business because they feel it's their skill.
Yeah.
And you name any business, you name any business and they would be doing a business which is their skill, but people forget business itself is a skill. So you have learned a skill of a specific product that you're supplying, but you haven't learned the skill of actually the machine that you're running, which is the business. For the people who are in a fantastic situation or who have been running their business, so I've heard so many people, business owners say, Arti, the business is doing fantastic to the extent that I'm not taking any more work. I'm working 24 by 7. I'm working 7 days a week. I've got so much of work that I don't want any more work. And I always say people that caution, because it's like a slow poison. Once you're in that phase, it is a start of risking things.
Hmm.
Your stress will eat you, and it does eat you. It is quite important to manage it, and it happens because the foundation is not strong enough.
Hmm.
When the foundation of the business is not strong enough in growth, or when you reach that stage, it is when you feel the business is going great, but it is actually starting to the extent that you don't want to do it anymore one day. And then what happens? All the years that you have put in, all the efforts that you have put in, where does it go? Nowhere.
Yep.
And the last category of people is who are willing to take their business to next level.
Hmm.
There's always a next level. Whatever you're doing, there is always a next level to it.
So basically, what you're saying is, if you're just starting up, make sure you seek advice early. Make sure you have your procedures written down. Like, get some professional help. If you're already running a successful business, get someone involved. So because you don't have to be stressed all the time because you're working 24/7. And if you have the desire to grow, then obviously get someone involved in the business anyways. So that brings me to the COVID questions as well, because you've helped so many businesses during that tough time. What were the key learnings from COVID scenario, and how did successful businesses deal with that?
See, it's not one size fit all,
Hmm.
but I can give you an example. Like one of the stories, one of my client,
Hmm.
when COVID hit, suddenly her client stopped. In her personal front also, she had her commercial properties which she was renting, and
Hmm.
suddenly the tenants were like raising their hands, and she was absolutely down the drain. Two sessions with her, and from third session onward, she not only got her clients, but she has doubled her clients. She
Wow.
has doubled her revenue during COVID. So it's about what is the situation and how you're reacting to it.
Hmm.
So one of my client was actually struggling how his working from home, the concept of working from home
Hmm.
was like foreign, was alien, was not acceptable.
Hmm.
And it is a mindset thing, but these are the things that you don't even realize that you're doing.
Hmm.
I would I know one thing for sure, that I will say for all business owners, that these COVID changes are not there to go.
Hmm.
These COVID changes have brought market to a completely new era. It is a new era of doing your business, and it's going to stay for long.
Hmm.
So the sooner you adapt to it, the better you adapt to it, the more good or more helpful it will be for your business.
Hmm.
It depends on exactly where you are in your business.
Hmm.
Some people say working from home is fantastic, but then for one of my client, then the concerns of how do you keep the culture, how do you maintain the motivation level, how is the
Hmm.
productivity happening. There were some basic concerns about how do you actually get people start working from away, not from office,
Hmm.
start working from home, and there were many things like that. So there, I feel COVID has brought a lot of positivity in the world, a
Hmm.
lot of positivity in the world, except for the COVID itself. But the changes that it has brought is certainly here to stay. And a smart business would be a business who would actually work around it and be flexible to adapt and mold their style of working to these changes.
Great. And again, adversities present opportunities, and I've seen a lot of business myself personally as being successful during COVID
Yeah.
period, which I feel would be the case with you as well. So, what would you say your key learnings from COVID were, and then one tip you can give business owners apart from what we've already covered? I think we've covered adaptability, evolving the business. What else? What could be one key thing there?
We already covered adaptability,
Hmm.
flexibility. Uh, one more thing I would say is productivity and
Hmm.
mindset.
Hmm.
I learned that COVID challenged people's mindset.
Hmm.
And it was just the change or the shift in mindset that made a huge difference.
Yep.
Again, adaptability and flexibility are more related to mindset as well.
Hmm.
But I guess for me, even personally, COVID was fantastic. Personally, I used to always, because I've got my clients all over Australia, so
Hmm.
I generally worked with them via Zoom, anyways.
Hmm.
But I love the fact of being flexible to work at whatever time, and for any employee as well,
Hmm.
it added that productivity. But then at the same time, you love to have those culture. It helps you, motivates you, keep you
Hmm.
positive.
Hmm.
So from the learning perspective, I would say the right mindset is the goal, is the key to have it right at every point of time in the situation.
Great, great. And mindset's everything, I can tell you that. Okay, talking about mindset, um, how do you continue to stay positive and stay on top of things with your role and keep learning? How do you manage to do that?
See, honestly, Raj Yoga meditation, and believing in, I feel, I always say, I've been saying this for the third time, I am blessed, and Raj Yoga meditation helps me to maintain that positivity.
Here's a
That,
shout out to Raj Yoga meditation, huh?
yeah, that support. Yes, Brahma Kumari did help me as well. Yeah.
Okay, nice one. Look, again, hats off to you. Such a busy life. You're managing a business, you're managing kids, managing a family. Um, you're doing it all. You're living a dream life.
A dream life is not possible without support, and I guess that support certainly helps a lot to every woman.
Great. And you mentioned support. Obviously, along the way, you would have learned from various different channels and books. What are the few resources that have helped you along the way? Any books, mentors, podcasts, online courses like you want to share with the audience?
See, my one of my biggest support is my business coach,
Hmm.
my mentor, who are also founders of Max My Profit.
Okay.
Also, I love hanging out on audibles, on books.
Yep.
Uh, Not only that, I love talking to people. People teach a lot.
Of course.
And I guess maintaining that positivity and spirituality helps me with the mindset as well.
Great. Okay, almost at the end. If someone is looking for a business coach and they are considering you, what can they expect from you? What the process looks like of engaging you, what happens, and how can they reach you online?
See, when anyone, I first thing I do is I have a chat with them, because it is quite important to understand the person. I always say I don't have anything that's going to fit one size fit all. It is always tailor made.
Mm,
So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to have a phone conversation with me and have a 10-15 minutes chat with me.
mm,
The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assess your business,
mm,
uh, and understand where you are, how you are. We are going to do a complete health assessment, and only after that we are going to proceed with me being on board.
okay.
But I do one thing with people is I make sure people make decisions.
Mm,
And it has been quite seen, making decision is a skill which can be learned, but it is also, it doesn't come just flick of movement.
mm,
uh, because with decision comes fear, and the person who is able to overcome the fear and make decisions is able to, has got the capacity to change,
mm,
or his heading on the path towards change and achieving change, his the path of change is achieving what you don't have, basically.
mm,
And that is one thing that I do check and I do look as well. Is the person able to make a decision, make a choice?
mm.
In order to find me, say you can Google my business has Max My Profit at the Business Accelerator. I'm on LinkedIn, Max My Profit Aarti. I'm on Facebook, Max My Profit Aarti. So yeah, I'm on these three channels basically.
Great, great.
Facebook and LinkedIn and Google. My number is everywhere. You can just call me, and I'm
No
there.
problems. And we will definitely going to share the details of your social handles and your contact details in this podcast as well. Um, Thank you very much for your time. It was an insightful conversation. I did really enjoy it. I think got to learn quite a few things as well. Um, Thank you very much for your time again, Arti.
My pleasure, Harpreet, and it was such a lovely, lovely experience of having this conversation with you. Your questions were actually insightful. Your questions did take all this out of me. So fantastic work there. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Again, if anyone's looking for a business coach who helps you balance your business life, your personal life, and gives you an over 360 degrees view of your business, Aarti Neemkar from Max My Profit is the person to get in touch with. Highly recommended. On this note, signing off from In the Limelight today. See you guys again soon. Take care.